Hey guys, we are back. So we're just about to get into a very busy trade deadline. It's probably going to probably take us a couple videos, probably at least two, to get through all the work that I want to get done in the trade deadline. But before we get into the trade deadline, you guys have been going pretty hog wild in all the comments areas, giving me all these different suggestions of who to trade, what to trade for, trying to plan ahead for the years to come. So before we get into the trade deadline, I think we need to do a little mini evaluation of our team right now. So let's look at our contracts right now and let's just evaluate anything. So we're going to start in the minors though first. And now we're going to start with all these forwards that we have in the minors right now. So don't worry about BOJoeKO. All these guys we have to worry about right now. So Ryan Johansson, Mika Zibanejad, Jordan Weal, Tyler Toffoli, Nicholas Jensen, Nick Cousins, Sean Monahan, Ulf Bajork, and Ikonen. So all these guys have to be taken into consideration. Now, Monahan, Bajork, and Ikonen we really don't have to worry about because obviously Monahan, Bajork have 1 year left on their contract, but they're really low overall, so they're 69 overall each. I can't see either of them getting to a really high overall in the next year because they're playing on the low lines because all the 4-star guys are taking over. But so these guys will probably still want two-way contracts next year, so we won't have to worry about it. And Sean Monahan will probably be a good two-way forward for us in the future. Same with Bajork, Ikonen, and Cousins. They'll all get very good in a couple years ago. They might be getting very good by the later years of the GMO commentary, maybe by like years 8, 9, or 10. These guys will probably be NHL ready to go by then. But for now, those guys are going to stay in there. Now, I may have signed a bit too many of these 4-star guys that I can handle because a lot of them have 1 year contracts left, and these are just the forwards concerning. A lot of these guys have 1 year contracts left, and I don't think I'm going to be able to sign all of them because we have to worry about our guys who are already on the team right now. So we have to really think about who we want to keep and who we really want to give away. Now, considering how things are going right now in the minors, Jordan Weal is doing amazing right now in the minors. Now he's only 76 overall. He's a playmaker. His defensive category is 3 stars. It's not bad. It's almost up in the 80s. He should be getting better by next year. But I mean, look how he's doing in the minors right now. 52 games played, 64 points, a plus 34. He's leading the AHL in points and in goals, I think, too. So he has 28 goals, and I think he's leading the AHL right now. So I think Jordan Weal is definitely one guy who I want to hold on. He has 1.95 mil. I don't think he would want that much because he's definitely going to want a 1 year contract because, again, with all these guys overalls are hovering in the mid 70s, I can see almost every single one of these guys getting to at least maybe like a 79 or an 80 overall next year. So I think we have to pick at least 2 of these guys who we want to keep. So Jordan Weal is definitely going to be one of them because with the amazing season that he's having right now in the AHL, I could see him going up to maybe like an 80, maybe even an 81, maybe mid 80s. I don't know. He could probably really jump up there. So he's one guy who we definitely want to keep. So we're going to keep him. Now, Toffoli and Jensen, they're both snipers. I don't really think we need snipers right now, so I think we could probably give these 2 guys away in the trade deadline. Plus, remember, all these guys have very good trade values as well, so we could probably give away Toffoli and Jensen. Now it's down to Ryan Johansson and Mika Zibanejad. Now, Johansson, he's probably going to want a big contract next year because he's probably going to be going up as well. He's not doing too bad either. He's almost a point-a-game player in the AHL. He actually is a point-a-game player, plus 32, 51 points in 52 games, so he's actually doing not too bad either. And then there's also Mika Zibanejad. Now, he's a two-way forward. Now, he could definitely pick up for one of the guys, say, like Anton Rodin or Jaden Hart goes down and overall really bad this year. He could definitely pick up on that third line because he's a two-way forward. He has his offense isn't the greatest. His defense is almost the same as Jordan Weal's. He could definitely pick up on that third or fourth line to pick somebody up. He's not doing too bad either. 39 points, 52 games, a plus 29. So like I said, all these guys are doing good. So I don't know. It's between Johansson or Mika Zibanejad. Johansson doesn't have the best offensive category as well. I think it has to be Mika Zibanejad because I can see him asking for less money than Ryan Johansson will. So I think we're going to have to keep Zibanejad and Jordan Wheel over Ryan Johansson and we're gonna have to trade probably Blake Coleman. We don't need him anymore because we do have Derek McKenzie. So well, we could keep him. We'll see what happens. So Ryan Johansson, probably Tyler Toffoli, and Nicholas Jensen are all going to go. Everybody else, Cousins, Monahan, BOJoeKO, and Nikkinen can stay. And these guys can probably play on. Sean Monahan can probably play on the first line now if we trade all those guys away. That means the first line would be Zimnejad, Wheel, and Sean Monahan. And then Nick Cousins, Ulf BOJoeKO, and Juuso Ikonen can pick back up their second line duties as they did for the past couple of years. So that's pretty much that dealt with. Now, if we go to defense, we really only have two guys we have to worry about on defense. We do have Artturi Lehkonen and Aaron Hoyles. Now, they're both 77 overall. Once again, I could see both of these guys getting up to about 80 overall. The only good thing is Artturi Lehkonen has 2 years left on this contract. Aaron Hoyles only has 1. So I think we could probably trade Aaron Hoyles, and plus he's 3.5 stars too. So, and Lehkonen's 1 year younger than he is. So we can keep Lehkonen. He may become a top 6 defenseman next year, but he'll still have 1 year left on a 2-way contract. So we can maybe even continue him growing on defense right now, because our defense pretty much is going to be settled the way it is now. So probably Aaron Hoyles is going to bite the dust too in this trade deadline. So we have 3 really good prospects for that are on short contracts that we're going to have to keep this year. So it's definitely going to be Artturi Lehkonen, Jordan Wheel, and Mika Zimnejad. And then in goalies, we obviously have Gordon Peckham, who we have for another 3 years on his minor league deal still. And we're not going to have to worry about goalie prospects for a while, because he's going to be getting good. I could see this guy jump up to maybe mid-80s next year. And then we have a goalie controversy with Jack Campbell and Gordon Peckham. And Peckham's still probably a good, how much younger is he? He's a good 4 years younger, 5 years younger than Jack Campbell is. So he can definitely pick it up for him. If one of them struggles, I can have faith in both of these guys to pick it up. So that's that. Now we go to goalies. Now the deal is Jonathan Bernier, not doing great this year. I'll show you guys his stats, even though you know his stats. 15 and 13. With a goals against average of 2.63, his save percentage of .909, like 90.9%. But he's just not doing it this year. I just don't know what's wrong with Bernier. He's been picking it up as of late, but still, he's just losing way too many games for the beginning of the season. And remember, he's on only one. This is the last year of his deal. Now, if we kept him for next year. Now think about it this way. Jack Campbell and Bernier, we both have to sign them this year. Campbell's a restricted free agent. Bernier's unrestricted free agent. Campbell, I could see him maybe getting up to, I don't see him getting up to that much. Maybe around the same thing as Gordon Peckham, maybe mid-80s. So, but still, he would want probably around the contract that Jonathan Bernier would want around like right now, maybe like a 4.2 or a $5 million contract. And if we sign him for that, we can't afford to sign Jonathan Bernier again, because I could see him wanting even more money than he does right now, because he's already leveled off at four white stars, and I can't see him getting any better. I can see Bernier getting worse, actually. So I think we should trade Jonathan Bernier right now and then just sign a free agent goalie for 1 year, and then just release him when the signing comes along, and then have Gordon Peckham and Jack Campbell just lead us into the rest of this GMO commentary with those 2 guys in goal. So we should just worry about that. So yeah, I think it would be very wise for us to trade Jonathan Bernier right now to a team who would want it. Maybe we should try to do the same thing that we did with Briz. With Briz, trade him to a team that already has a good goalie, so they won't really want to use him. Because like if we take a look at, I'm going the wrong way. Let's take a look at the LA Kings, because we haven't checked on Bernier in a while. Briz, I meant. Yeah, so see, there's Briz. They have 2 goalies on LA, which kind of screws them a little bit, because they have a $5.8 million contract and a $5.4 million contract for both goalies for the next couple of years. I mean, they could trade one of them, but that's almost, what is that? That's $11.2 million in your cap space just sucked up by your goalies. So I think we should do that with Jonathan Bernier, try to screw over one team by doing that. And like I said, our penalty kill was hurting us a lot, so maybe we can pick somebody up on the penalty kill. Maybe a good defenseman, because that's another thing we want to take a look at. So let's move to our defenseman next. A lot of you guys have been giving Jamie McBain some hurt. I mean, I know obviously he's not going to be getting any better, but this guy is going to be a solid top 4 defenseman for us for the next couple of years. I mean, let's look at his contract. His contract is still 5.3. It's a little bit high, but I mean, there's obviously bigger people in the NHL now with big contracts, and he's on a 5.3 for another 1, 2, 3 for another 3 years. Well, really 2 if we don't count this year. So we could probably give him up in the 2018-2019 season, and then work on these guys, because then probably all these guys will have been getting a lot better. Now, McBain is good for the price. Brandon Manning is not good for the price. He's only 85 years old, and he's 26 years old. Now, I've seen in this game that a lot of the defensemen start to level out and start to lose their gold stars around the age that Brandon Manning is at. Now, I think it'd be a wise decision to trade Brandon Manning right now, because he could be once he turns 27 next year, he could probably lose his gold stars, and I could see him probably getting worse too, because he's not having the best season. 17 points in 64 games. I mean, he's a plus player. He's one of the biggest plus players. I mean, he was just a shocker in the offseason that 1 year, probably, like, I forget when we used him, maybe 2 years ago, I think it was, that Brandon Manning just jumped onto the team and just jumped to an 85 overall like that. It was just crazy, but I think it would be wise to get rid of Brandon Manning, because he has a big contract. Same thing as Jamie McBain, but I think he is just not worth the $5.5 million that he's worth. Jamie McBain is definitely worth it, because he has a better defensive category than Brandon Manning. The only reason Brandon Manning has a 4.5 White Star defense is because of that defensive awareness at 96. I mean, that's good, but it's not helping you out that much when your shot blocking and your stick checking aren't that good. So I think Jamie McBain is worth much more money than Brandon Manning is. Plus, we still have Petrovic, who's still going to be getting good. Joseph Morrow still has 4 stars. I can see him getting better. Duncan Simons, he's at 4.5. I don't know why he's not jumping. He's making the jump right now yet. And then we still have Shea Theodore, our first or second overall pick from a couple of years ago, who's at 21. His contract is going to be coming up this year. We definitely want to try to sign him long term, and I could see him maybe jumping up to around where Joseph Morrow stands next year. So then our defense gets a lot better. So I think we could maybe trade Brandon Manning and Jonathan Bernier together, and maybe get a really good defenseman, maybe a top 2, because we need a top 2 defenseman, and who has a very good defensive category and can help us out on the penalty kill. Now, talking about our forwards, I mean, we pretty much have our forwards settled out the way they are. Giroux, Galchenyuk. A lot of you guys are saying to trade Giroux. I mean, yeah, the 10.5 is a lot of money to deal with, but I'm one of those guys where, well, 10.4. I'm one of those guys where I just don't know. When he gets to the 2021 season, like, I just don't want to trade him, guys. I'm one of those. If you're a Philly fan like me, you'll understand. You want a guy like this to retire on your team. Like, I hope you guys understand that. It's just in my, like, it's just I don't want to give up or trade away somebody like this. He's a guy who I want to retire on this team. Like, I just hope you guys understand that. Because I mean, by the 2021 season, he's gonna want a lot less money, but it's just I want him to retire on this team. I want him to carry it the whole way through the GMO commentary. Because, like I said, Galchenyuk hopefully will be getting better soon. Voracek, we're definitely going to have to decide who we want to trade in the offseason this year with Voracek, Tyler Ennis, or Jeff Skinner. Now, Jeff Skinner still has his 4.5 gold stars, so I definitely want to keep him. It's probably going to be between Voracek and Ennis. Identical contracts. Voracek has a longer year than Tyler Ennis does. Ennis has been showing himself in these past couple years for the past couple years, and so we may have to give away Voracek or Ennis, so we'll have to consider that. But then again, everybody else is where I want it to be. Braden Shen's having a very good year, comeback year. I could see him maybe jumping up a lot, and he'll be definitely worth a $3 million contract that he's worth. Because, like I said, in 2 years, 2 years from now, we're gonna have a big re-sign phase where we gotta have to sign all of these players, and it's gonna be a really tough time to sign all of them. Because, like I said, depending on how Ryan O'Reilly, Anton Rodin, Coots, see how he does this year, Jaden Hart, we may have to release some of these guys or just let them go, or maybe trade them away and let those Jordan Wheels and the Jad move up. So right now we're fine. But probably the two people who we may want to trade right now would probably be Brandon Manning, so we can have salary for next year because we need some salary to sign players this offseason, and Jonathan Bernier. We need to get out of here right now. So let's take it into the trade deadline. Let's see who we can trade for. And well, this video is already getting pretty long, so I will let's jump into the trade deadline right now and let's see who is available, and we'll see what we can do. So let's try to get rid of the young guys first, and then we'll worry about it. Okay, so let's jump right into this trade deadline, trade negotiations. Okay, so let's jump right into this, and also we'll check out trades from other teams if they come at us. So let's propose a trade. So let's get Jonathan Bernier on this table right now, and let's get Brandon Manning on this table right now. Where you at, Brandon Manning? Yeah, because see, these guys have actually pretty good trade value. So let's try to look for a team, well, a Western Conference team, so they can't bother us. Let's try to look for a Western Conference team who we could trade these guys to, and if they have any good defense to help us out. Now let's see, Cam Fowler, he's a top 4, 25. Yeah, not what we're looking for. We want a young guy, young defenseman who we want to get. So Anaheim, not looking so good. Boston, no. Calgary, now a lot of you guys, some of you guys were mentioning Josh Morrissey. Same thing with like McBain. He's coming up on a contract year as well, and I don't know if I could sign him or not because I have a bunch of people I have to sign this year. Who do I have to sign this year? Just to look at it. Just the main guys who I have to sign. Sean Couturier. Okay, that's one. Shea Theodore. That's it. Okay, so that's all we really have to sign on the main roster is Shea Theodore, Sean Couturier, and Jack Campbell. I forgot about that. And Jack Campbell. Okay. So we do have like, and so we're going to have to make salary cap room for those guys. Okay, so Calgary's not out of the question yet. We could make the trade for Josh Morrissey then, but we have to sign him as well. I don't know. We'll pass on him for now. Let's see if we can find somebody else. Carolina, no. Chicago, no. Colorado wants both of them, but I think we already picked up everybody. Eric Johnson would probably be the only guy left. But, I mean, he's kind of leveled off. I mean, he's a top 2. Defensive category is pretty good. 89, 91, 91. And his discipline's kind of low. He takes a lot of penalty minutes, so I think we'll pass on him for now. Columbus. Now, they want both of them. They do have Ryan Murray. Ryan Murray does have a good year. He has 3 years left. He has all these players that we have on our team right now are looking at these 3-year contracts still left, so he would probably be good. He is a top 2. Defensive category, very good. It's better than Brandon Manning's. Good defensive awareness, good shot blocking, good stick checking, very good discipline. He could shoot the puck as well. He's a two-way defenseman. Skating's pretty good. Alright physically. Poise is a little bit low, but that's why he's still young. He's not doing too bad. 32 points in 65 games. Not as many penalty minutes. Ryan Murray might not be bad pickup, and he's got an okay salary cap. It's only $500,000, like 0.5 mil more than Brandon Manning would. So it doesn't hurt our salary that much. So you know what? I think we should probably, you know what? Let's just look through all the rest. Detroit, Cronwall, not bad. He's on a pretty low contract. I mean, he's going to be getting worse year by year, so I don't think that. We need to get a young guy. Let's just keep looking through this. Ryan Whitney, no. Florida. I think we already took everybody from Florida. Yeah, Kulikov, he's all the way down there, no. LA, Drew Doughty, and it's a little bit too pricey for my hands. Minnesota, Suter. Let's take a look at Ryan Suter real quick. 86, top 4, nah, he's not going to be getting any better. Montreal, no. Nashville, I think only has Shea Weber. Yeah, and he's, I mean, he's top 2. Very good defense. Same thing with Eric Johnson. He just takes way too many penalty minutes. Jersey, I know they have Adam Larson, but I don't want to be giving Bernier and Manning to Jersey. That'd be a pretty good team next year if we did that. Griffin Reinhart, same thing. I don't want to trade the East. Ottawa, no. Phoenix, Gormley and Rumblad and Yandel. Nah, they're kind of getting old too. They're getting around Brandon Manning's age where he might level off. Pittsburgh, yeah, we're not Look at that San Jose. I don't think they have anything. Yeah, besides Brett Burns, nothing. Uh, Brett Burns wouldn't be bad. Same thing though. These guys just take way too many penalty minutes. Ryan Murray's penalty minutes are really damn low. Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo has a really good salary, really good year length too. Same thing, man. Just a lot of penalty minutes. Ryan Murray's penalty minutes are really low, which I really like. Tampa Bay, no. Toronto, no. Vancouver, Ham Houston, Edler, nah. Washington, no. We're gonna skip on that. And Winnipeg. I think Ryan Murray would be the best pickup for right now, guys, because, and I think we can screw over Columbus in the process because let's take a look at their goalie situation. Oh man, that couldn't be perfect. Look at that. Steve Mason and Sergei Bobrovsky, 5 mil for Mason, 4.4 almost for Bobrovsky, and then we give them Bernier at 4.6. They have 3 really good goalies that they can use, almost all around the same age. Is Bernier 28? Bernier is 28, so they'd have 3 28-year-old goalies, almost 29-year-old goalies, all with 1-year contracts left, and they would probably have to re-sign at least one of them. I can't see them signing all 3 of them, all 3 goalies to play for them. So we can maybe luck out here and maybe have a good goalie in free agency this year. Maybe we can get a Bob or somebody to play backup if he doesn't want that much. That's like a just an alternate backup. But yeah, we can probably screw Columbus over here in the process. So let's try this out. Let's see if we can make one trade in this video for this first video. So let's see if we put Ryan Murray on the table. Yeah, Ryan Murray. Okay, so let's put Ryan Murray on the table. They're not gonna accept that because too many players on the contract. Let's take these guys, Hatchela and Fitzgerald. Pretty young guys actually. What's their stars like? 1 star and 1.5. Jesus, they're probably terrible. What are their overalls at? 53 tough guy. Yeah, that kind of figures. What's Fitzgerald's at? 39 tough guy. I didn't even know you could have an overall that low. Dear Lord. Well, this trade would go through. You know what? I think I'm going to give them... I could give them some prospects too, but I think I'm going to give them my first overall pick because I can see us going into the playoffs pretty far. This first overall pick's not going to be much, and I plan on getting some first overall picks back anyway for all these guys down here. I can get maybe a really good top overall pick for all these prospects that I'm going to be giving away. So I think I can get a first round pick back. So don't worry about this first round pick. I can get it back, and then we could get more players for our prospect pool. So I actually really like this trade. So Jonathan Bernier, Brandon Manning, and a first overall pick for pretty much for Ryan Murray and just 2 nobodies who we're never going to use. We could probably trade them away in this trade deadline as well. So let's just think about this logically. We're giving away a goalie we did not plan on signing this year whatsoever. Just give him away right now. Columbus, I think, is in a playoff spot if I'm not mistaken, so they could probably benefit from him. Hopefully we don't run into the playoffs. Brandon Manning, who I can see leveling off this year coming up, he's just not worth the $5.5 million that he's having right now. He's just not worth that contract. And a first overall pick, don't worry about it. We can get a better first round pick for all the prospects that we're going to give up anyway. For pretty much a top 2 defenseman, really good defensive category, really good discipline. He's just not taking that many penalty minutes this year, which is what I like. Good offensive category that can help out on the power play. Defense could definitely hold it down on the penalty kill. I think this is a very good trade in my hands. So, guys, let's see if this goes through. Jonathan Bernier, Brandon Manning, and a first overall pick for Ryan Murray. Now, they don't want to give him away, but they want Columbus doesn't want to give him away, but they want everything that we have on this list. Let's see if this goes through. Will it go through? Yes, it did. I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we consider it a done deal. So, it's a very good trade for both of them. Yeah, invalid rosters, I know. I know this was going to happen, so assistant coach, yeah, just do best lines for now. We'll fix it. We'll fix all that stuff after the trade deadline. So, very good first trade.